Good morning and welcome to the School District of Prairie Farm's 2023 Veterans Day program. It's great to see a full gym here this morning. This morning we have a number of presenters and musicians set to honor the service of our veterans. These presenters range all the way from kindergarten up to our high school. I saw a number of people take a look at our wall of thanks outside the gym wall here on the way in. If you did not get a chance to do that, please take a look on your departure today. To start our program, I would like to welcome Ms. Karen Wilbur and the Elementary Student Council.
Good morning. At this time, our student council members would like to offer a special speech of thanks. And so I'm going to lower the microphone and we're going to welcome our first speaker.
As we celebrate our veterans on this Veterans Day, we feel honored to be standing up here in front of so many people who are interested in honoring our veterans. Originally called Armistice Day, this day was conceived as a tribute to the Americans who sacrificed their lives in World War I.
Now we also honor all American veterans who have served in any war, before or after World War I. To defend democracy, we honor our veterans from every time of peace as well, for they protect what our war veterans fought and died to defend.
We celebrate this day, we honor veterans today because we know without them there would be no land of the free. Without the veterans of the American Revolution, there would not even be a United States of America. Without the veterans of the Civil War who fought on either side for what they believed in, the strong united America we know today might have never been possible.
Without World War II, veterans may be living in a country where freedom of the choice and the right to vote no longer exists.
From the birth of our country until today, all of our veterans have protected our democracy, our freedom, and our way of life. Today we honor and thank them.
And tomorrow, we must continue to honor them. They have given us the chance to live in freedom today, and an opportunity to look forward to tomorrow. They have given us to every day, and they have protected every freedom. We must honor them every day in every way that we can. The best way to honor our veterans is to take an active part in maintaining freedom in America. We must teach future generations about what it means to be an American. We must volunteer in our communities, take care of veterans and their families, vote in elections, and continue to try to make America the very best that it can be.
Abraham Lincoln said, "Any nation that does not honor its heroes will not long endure." So we would like to say,
Thank you, veterans!
The Prairie Farm Safety Patrol members would like to review with everyone the proper way for us to all view the flag of the United States of America. When reciting the pledge and during the flag ceremonies, citizens of the United States should place their right hand over their hearts.
Men should remove any hat and hold them to their left shoulder, thus placing their hand over their heart. Non-citizens, people visiting from other lands and those who are in the United States on this day may hold their hands in front or behind their body. They may also simply keep their hands relaxed at their sides.
Military members, past and present, are only people who should give the military salute. For non-military members to do this, this is inappropriate. All persons at the attendance of the retirement of the flag should not speak until the flag is removed from the pole completely and ready to be pulled. Thank you. We hope this cleared up any confusion and that we will all proudly place our hands on our hearts.
At this time, it is my pleasure to introduce our guest speaker for this morning. And students, many of you might recognize him. Please help me recognize retired Senior Master Sergeant, Mr. Pete DeSanctis, better known as Mr. Pete. Pete has served 33 years in the Air Force Reserve and currently serves as the commander of the American Legion Post 25 in Chetek. Please welcome Mr. Pete.
Thank you, Mr. Fossum. It's a truly an honor to be here today. Good morning, teachers, students, ladies and gentlemen, and fellow veterans. I'm sure you're all spread out through the audience. Today we come together to honor and recognize American service members, past and present. This day of celebration and reflection originated at the end of World War I from the signing of an armistice, a temporary cessation of hostilities on Monday, November 11th, 1918 at 11 a.m., when all fighting ceased between the Allied nations and Germany. A year later, President Woodrow Wilson proclaimed November 11th, 1919 as the first commemoration of Armistice Day. The original concept for the celebration was for a day observed with parades and public meetings with a brief suspension of businesses beginning at 11 a.m. The actual legal federal holiday was approved by Congress in 1938, and it wasn't until 1954, following the Korean conflict, that Congress replaced Armistice Day with Veterans Day. A day in America when all veterans are honored. Veterans are recognized as men and women who have or still have been serving America's armed forces. Veterans Day is a celebration to honor all of America's veterans for their patriotism, love of country, and willingness to sacrifice and serve for the common good. The service of America's veterans never truly ends, even when they hang up their military uniforms. For the last time, many still choose to serve and to protect us. Hunter Shield was one of them. As most of you know, he graduated from Prairie Farm High School in 2017. And Hunter then entered the Army National Guard and was still currently on active duty at the rank of corporal. In 2019-20, he served a tour in Afghanistan, which also brought him to Kuwait. His medals include the National Defense Service Medal, Global War on Terrorism, Afghanistan Campaign Medal with the Campaign Star, and the Army Service Ribbon. Hunter fulfilled his lifelong dream by enrolling and graduating from the Police Recruit Academy at Northwoods Technical College in Rice Lake, graduating in 2022. He started his career at the Cameron Police Department as a part-time officer in 2022 and went on to become a full officer in January of 2023. Hunter was a hero and a veteran who gave everything to his community and country. He was the embodiment of service and sacrifice. The U.S. Department of Justice estimates that 25% of law enforcement officers have a military background. Bravery and dedication to their community are common among all veterans. Today is the day to honor all of the men and women who served in the U.S. military. It's about approximately 19 million U.S. veterans who are still with us today, and the millions who have preceded them since the American Revolution. Many served their communities as first responders, teachers, paras, healthcare workers, or church leaders. Some are business owners, farmers, company workers, or retirees who volunteered throughout their communities. Veterans are a diverse group represented by men and women of every economic, ethnic, and religious background. They come from every state and territory and are bound by one common commitment to defend America with their life if called upon. Veterans organizations like the American Legion, the AMVETS, and VFW still serve today to help veterans and to promote and foster patriotism in their own communities. It is fitting that Veterans Day be observed so close to Election Day. After all, it's the veterans who have preserved our constitutional rights for 247 years. For many of them, this nation was worth enduring long separations from their families, missing the births of their children, freezing in sub-zero temperatures, sweating in the deserts of Southwest Asia, and sacrificing their health and far too often losing their lives. From fighting terrorism, defeating fascism, and liberating slaves, veterans have a record of remarkable accomplishment throughout our nation's history. Veterans are not responsible for defending the nation only during a time of war, but is the imposing presence of our great military that has acted as a deterrent to would-be aggressors. Many veterans today continue to pay a high price for their military service. It is up to us to ensure that they always have access to high-quality health care and benefits reflecting the thanks of a great nation. To the veterans of our great country, we must never be taken for granted. To honor our veterans, we must continue to keep the promises we have made. We must care for those who were injured in the service to our country. When a politician laments the cost of a veterans program, it is up to us to remind them of the cost of being a veteran. We must support the families of our deployed men and women in the fight against terrorism. We must honor and remember all those who have died. So today, I would like to have you all join me in saying thank you to all of America's veterans for their quiet courage and exemplary service. Let them know you are grateful for the many sacrifices that they have made. Veterans, you have done your duty. Your families, your communities, your fallen comrades, and your country. You have honorably served your nation with great distinction. Thank you for your service in both war and peace. In closing today, as we rejoice and honor America's service veterans, we must also remember the wise words of General Douglas MacArthur. The soldier above all other people prays for peace. Thank you all for coming, and God bless.
Antone and Charlie Ann right here. Come on down. As these two come down, they will be leading us in the Pledge of Allegiance. Please stand if you are able.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
At this time, the high school choir and I would like to invite you to stand as you are able to sing along with us on the national anthem.
On behalf of our Leadership Council and the student body, I'm so honored to speak today and represent the students of Prairie Farm Schools. Veterans Day. By simple definition, Veterans Day is a day of remembrance and honoring those soldiers who have fought in different wars throughout our country's history. However, as high school students, we are challenged to think about the meaning of Veterans Day critically. Many students do not understand the importance of this day. Some students might not even completely understand what Veterans Day is even about. According to a blog, as of November 1st, 2022, there were around 19 million veterans. All of these amazing people sacrificed so much for the students, children, their families, their communities, and overall our beautiful country. And they are still serving. I've been a part of Vigilance Auxiliary Unit 511 since 2020, and I would highly encourage each of you to check out your local auxiliary or similar organizations to get involved. Being a part of this group has opened my eyes to the needs of veterans and the support our community can provide. The auxiliary is an excellent organization that helps veterans receive resources they may need. It is our goal to recognize veterans and get to know them. We try to make personal community connections with them. The auxiliary not only helps veterans with material needs, but we also understand how important it is to simply visit and talk to veterans. Simple conversations can brighten a veteran's day, and we're still serving. I've always been inspired by my family's members who have served in the military. Many of my family members have served in the Army, Air Force, and the Marines. Some examples of my family serving are my great-grandpa served in World War II in the Battle of the Bulge. My great-grandpa was a cook for the Army and the Navy. My great-great-uncle was knighted by the French Army for his work in liberating France. My grandma and my grandpa both served overseas in the Air Force during Vietnam, and two of my first cousins recently finished basic training and are planning on entering the National Guard. I've thought about going into the military myself, and although it is not the right choice for my life right now, I'm so proud of the servicemen and women who are currently serving or have served in the past, and truly inspired by their commitment to serve. Knowing how much you veterans have sacrificed not only in your lives, but in the lives of every single person in this room and our country makes me extremely proud to be able to speak on this day in front of everybody. These hardworking veterans not only serve their commitment in the military branch of their choice, they also come home to serve in their communities, work at jobs where they can use their expertise and talents, raise their families, help a neighbor with a task, volunteer for various church or community projects, attend events at our local schools, serve on various committees or leadership boards, and yes, they are still serving. And because these veterans are still choosing to serve in various capacities in our communities, I challenge everyone this morning to do some simple things. I challenge you to smile at a veteran, wave at a veteran, personally thank a veteran, and even have a meaningful conversation with them. Ask them some good questions and thank them for their service. We often wonder what we can do to let veterans know we still honor them. These are exactly the things we can do to honor them. In addition, we can stand for the Pledge of Allegiance and honor our flag. We can join in singing proudly the national anthem at events. And we can do our schoolwork with pride, knowing that there are folks fighting to keep us free to continue to do so. While there are many veterans to honor, starting by being a part of one veteran's life can start a chain reaction. You will be impacting their lives, which will cause others to want to do the same for another veteran. And this means that along with the veterans, we are still serving this beautiful nation. Please join me in once again thanking our veterans.
At this time, we will have a piece presented by our high school band. Veterans, as you hear your portion representing your branch of service, we would invite you to stand for a round of applause at that time.
folding ceremony represents the same religious principles on which our country was originally founded. The portion of the flag denoting our honors the canton of blue, containing the stars representing the states our veterans served in uniform. The canton field of blue dresses from left to right is inverted when draped has a pal on the casket of a veteran who has served our country in uniform. In the armed forces of the United States, at the ceremony of the retreat of the flag is lowered, folded into a triangle fold, and kept under watch throughout the night as a tribute to our nation's honored dead. The next morning, it is brought out, and at the ceremony of reveal, run aloft as a symbol of our belief, reassuring the body. The first fold of the flag is a symbol of life. The second fold is a symbol of our belief in eternal life.
The third fold is in honor of remembrance of the veteran departing our ranks who gave a portion of life for the defense of our country to attend peace throughout the world. The fourth fold represents a weaker nature for as American citizens trusting in God, and it is to Him we turn in times of peace as well as in times of war for His divine guidance.
The fifth fold is a tribute to our country, for in the words of Stephen Decatur, our country in dealing with other countries. May she always be right, but it is still our country, right or wrong. The sixth fold is for where our hearts lie. It is with our heart that we pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, and liberty and justice for all.
The seventh fold is a tribute to our armed forces, for it is through the armed forces that we protect our country and our flag against all her enemies, whether they be found or within or without the boundaries of our republic. The eighth fold is a tribute to the one who entered into the valley of the shadow of death, that we might see the light of day, and to honor Mother, for whom it flies on Mother's Day. The ninth fold is a tribute to womanhood, for it has been through their faith, love, loyalty, and devotion that the character or the men and women who have made this country great have been molded. The 10th fold is a tribute to the Father, for He too has given His sons and His daughters for the defense of our country since they were first born.
The 11-fold in the eyes of a Hebrew citizen represents the lower portion of the seal of King David and King Solomon, and glorifies in their eyes the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob.
The 12-fold is in the eyes of a Christian citizen, represents an album of eternity and glorifies in their eyes God the Father, the Son, and Holy Ghost.
When the flag is completely folded, the stars are upmost, reminding us of our national motto, "In God We Trust." After the flag is completely folded and tucked in, it takes the appearance of a cocked hat, ever reminding us of the soldier who served under General George Washington, and the sailors and Marines who served under Captain John Paul Jones, who were followed by their comrades and shipmates in the armed forces of the United States, preserving for us the rights, privileges, and freedoms we enjoy today.
Please stand as you are able for the playing of taps by Miss Cora Ziegler.
Good morning. I'm Teresa Lindemer, a member of the Hay River Quilters, who meet once a month here in Prairie Farm. We all share the love of quilting by learning from each other, sharing ideas, taking fun trips, and doing service projects. One of the service projects we do is making quilts to honor local veterans. We then present these quilts of honor at Veterans Day programs held in the following schools: Elmina, Turtle Lake, Barron, Ridgeland, and Prairie Farm. I am honored to represent the Hay River Quilters by presenting this quilt to Kenneth Seeger, a member of the Hole and Wade Post 259, Prairie Farm. Kenneth Seeger served 4 years in the United States Air Force. He was part of the Combat Control Team, which is the Air Force Special Operations Team. Kenneth was stationed at Pope Air Force Base in North Carolina. He served 1 year in Vietnam from February 1967 to February 1968, and finished out his service at the McGuire Air Force Base in New Jersey. He was awarded 2 Bronze Stars, did 5 parachute jumps with the Vietnamese, plus did 3 other jumps, including 1 combat jump in Vietnam. Kenneth left the Air Force with a total of 58 jumps. Kenneth states he enjoyed his time in the military and has been to 3 reunions and is still in touch with a half dozen of former team members. Therefore, it is with great gratitude, honor, and pleasure that the Hay River Quilters present this quilt of honor to Kenneth Seeger.
At this time, I'd like to invite all members of Elementary Student Council to come down to the floor and stand behind me. All members of Elementary Student Council. These fine young Americans made some really beautiful thank you cards for our veterans today. And so if there are any veterans out in the crowd, we invite you to stand as you're able or raise your hand and you will receive a thank you card from our student council. I wish that you could have been in our meetings when they were creating these cards because they said some of the most special things. They showed so much appreciation and so much love and so much understanding for the role of the veteran. And so a lot of love went into these cards. So thank you, veterans, for your service.
I want to thank everybody that attended and participated in our ceremony here this morning. While we formally recognize veterans on November 11th, today the 10th, it is important to remember that veterans are defending our country 365 days a year, and not just on these special observance days. Veterans, thank you again for your service and commitment to our country. Please stand for the removal of colors by American Legion Post 259 and our Connorsville vets. Again, thank you everybody for coming this morning. Just a couple announcements. Elementary, as we get ready to leave, we will get our stuff ready and head outside for a short recess. Middle school, high school, then you will report to your next period class. Again, let's give one hand for our veterans. Thank you for coming today.